completions of 20-plus yards, and his overall grade from Pro Football Focus is tied for second with Pro Bowl quarterback Deshaun Watson, even ranking ahead of Shannon's guy, Patrick Mahomes. So, Shannon, how do you explain this?
You know something, like I told Skip the other day, in the words of immortal Miss Billie Holiday, hush now, don't explain. Some things you offer without explanation, and this is one thing that you can't explain. This makes no sense. Nobody that watched the National Football League thinks Tom Brady has outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Thinks he's outplayed. He hasn't even outplayed Josh Allen. I'm just trying to figure out, how do you get a top 2 grade when you're 9th in QBR, you're 10th in traditional passer rating, you're 16th in yards per attempt, you're 18th in completion percentage, you have the 8th most interceptions, and you're 6th in passing yards when you've thrown the 4th most attempts. I just don't know how you get to that. And you look at, okay, so I guess what they didn't do, Jenny, they didn't take into account the Saints game. They lost both. Bears to Nick Foles. Did you know Nick Foles got benched for Mitchell Trubisky, Skip? Oh, okay. The Rams, Jared Goff, when his coach absolutely obliterated him, you lost that one. And somehow, and Patrick Mahomes, let me see, Patrick Mahomes has road wins over the Ravens, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, and Saints, in which he averaged 30. Now, which one of those teams are going to the playoffs, Jenny, you think? Are the Bills going? Are the Bucks going? Are the Saints going? Because 2 of those guys have won division. And if the Dolphins win on Sunday, they're in the playoffs. If the Ravens beat the Bengals, they're in the playoffs. So I'm confused.
By the way, Jenny's way over there, and she can't help you.
Yeah, I'm just, well, maybe you can help me. Well, you can help me. I just want to know, if any of the teams, if the Ravens, Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, are any of those teams any good? Mahomes beat them all in their building. Now, you talk about, oh, the NFL made it so hard for Tom Brady, they made him open up on the road in New Orleans. How about this? Mahomes, since you won the MVP, you won the Super Bowl last year, Super Bowl MVP, how about going on the road to the Ravens, the Bills, the Bucks, the Dolphins, and the Saints? And I need you to get it done. Roger that. Done deal. Skip, look, Tom Brady has played better than I thought he would. I can see that. But to say he's played better than Mahomes, to say he's played better than Josh Allen, Skip, that's not true. I can't make a case that he's played better than Tannehill. Come on now. I get it. I get it, Pro Football. Look, Tom Brady going to give y'all an interview one day, and he'll talk to y'all Pro Football Focus, but this is ridiculous.
It's not a lot of good guys working at Pro Football Focus. Chris Collinsworth is actively involved. Mike McCarthy spent all last year involved with Pro Football Focus. So I have respect for their grading system, and it says complete body of work. Tom Brady is tied for second in overall grade for the entire year with Deshaun Watson, trailing Aaron Rodgers.
Skip, let me tell you something. A doctor told me one time, he said, Shannon, doctors that can perform the surgeries. Doctors that can't, they teach the classes. I'm gonna leave it at that. So if you're at Pro Football Focus, I need to know why if you're a coach. If you're at Pro Football Focus and you're a general manager, I need to know why. Why are you not running a team? Why are you not coaching a team? Those that can do, those that can't, they tell other people what they should do. You see what I went with that? People at home, hey, O'Shea be on the grind now.
I don't know. Mike McCarthy's team has just won 3 in a row. I don't know.
How do you know what's going on?
He did it by smashing watermelons. I don't know.
So you hanging your hat on that, huh?
That's all I got.
Okay.
So, look, I realize Tom Brady does not look or act the part of the GOAT quarterback. It just somehow rankles you. It cuts against your grain. He doesn't handle himself the way a star-stud, all-time greatest quarterback should handle himself.
Actually, Skip, he's the epitome. He's a basic, garden variety NFL quarterback. All of them has done it like this, from Montana to Elway to Marino to all the greats. He's it. He doesn't say anything. It's golly gee whiz. He's on. They have social media, but he's garden variety. He's everything that you want. He's always going to say the right thing. He's never going to be out of. Every hair is going to be in place. Nothing's going to be out of place. So no, I have no expectations when it comes to anything outside of the scope.
Yeah, except but your quarterback John Elway was more of a gunslinger and. he was more of a Wild West hero look to him.
Well,
right?
Skip, that's what Dan turned him into. John wanted to throw the ball like Marino. He felt he could throw the ball like Marino and Kelly, but in Montana. But Dan, Tom Landry, Skip,
Dan Reeves.
Run the football. And then how did Roger Staubach get captain comeback? Because when all else fell after we done ran the football 35 times and we done fell behind by 14, hey, Roger, can you bail us out? And Roger Staubach, he would do his magic, and you would win to score 15 points in the last 6 minutes of the ball game, and they would win. That's how John was.
Okay, so even Roger Staubach, my favorite all-time Dallas Cowboy, had edge to him, even though he was a Christian out front, wore on his sleeves, Navy guy, Heisman Trophy winner. When push came to shove, when he got pushed and shoved by a backup quarterback once upon a time named Clint Longley, he got sucker punched in the locker room at training camp by him. He took him outside and whipped his you-know-what in front of everybody. Yeah. Okay?
Yeah, you better not do that now. Today, one of these quarterbacks today.
I got it. Okay. All I know is that Tom Brady is 43 years of age. And our man, Eric Dickerson, you can argue the greatest Ram ever. I think the greatest running back ever. Now the Rambassador. He has sat right here in this chair once upon a time. And he said he is nothing but an old-ass man playing quarterback. This old-ass man at 43 is having an extraordinary year.
He is.
However you want to slice and dice it.
He's having an unbelievable year.
Just all-time unbelievable year, because as Pro Football Focus, I know you don't have much respect, if any respect, for them, but they conclude that they gave him the 4th highest single game grade in the past decade, that in their time of ranking quarterbacks per game, single games, that his game at Detroit against the lowly Lions, we know, and they had a bunch of coaches that were COVID out, had COVID issues. And yet, he put up a 93.3. It's the 4th best single game Pro Football Focus grade of the past decade. And they conclude that the 43-year-old quarterback has had countless incredible performances throughout his 21-year career, but this one against the Lions was one of his best. So for me, I'm just going eye test. You have repeatedly tried to convince me his skills have eroded, that he has lost arm strength. And I got to tell you, I see zero loss of arm strength on deep balls, on out routes, on any intermediate route that it's a tight window throw, or in red zone throws, he throws fast balls. He threw one to Antonio Brown for his 4th touchdown pass of the half, and it had some juice on it.
Skip, when I look at guys as they start to age and they play professional sports, and a lot of guys can attest to this, Tom Brady can play good for a half, first half, maybe the second half, or maybe put a game together. But we have yet to see him put them games together, back to back to back to back, where he could once upon a time. That's what we have.
All I know is his second half at Atlanta.
What happened the first half? That's my point.
320 in the second half, followed by 348 in the first half.
Well, if that's the case, just say
so he needed a few days off to recover from 320 so he could throw for 348.
So,
right?
in other words, you're just going to bring him in the second half since the first half don't matter, right?
668 yards in back-to-back halves.
Let me ask you a question, Skip. Skip, be it in all objectivity, do you think Tom Brady has outplayed Patrick Mahomes this season?
I do not. But their grading system says that he has. And I will say this. Patrick Mahomes has disappointed me over the last 7 games because I think he has slowly eroded this year.
But think about this.
I will give you the big picture because of all those games on the road that they won early. If I go body of work, it feels like Patrick Mahomes has been a little better than Brady. But do not underestimate just how great Brady has been on a consistent basis, except for one horrible night against New Orleans.
So did he play well the first time against New Orleans?
I thought he played pretty well, given that they'd had no preseason games. He was
what about Chicago? How did he play against Chicago?
He was hit and miss down the stretch, but he had pretty good numbers in that game.
Okay.
And
what about the Rams?
All you do is do this 4 thing, and I'm going, well, 4. That's what he threw 4 touchdown passes against Detroit the first half. Maybe that's what he was doing.
No, let me ask you a question. So what about the Rams? How did he do against the Rams?
Not great.
Not great at all.
Yep.
Now you said, and everybody you say Patrick Mahomes has disappointed you the last 7 games. with 7 dubs. He's disappointed you with 7 dubs. Let that sink in for just a second.
Winning by an average margin of 3.8 points a game.
Think about this, Skip. We complain about Patrick Mahomes winning by less than 4, but we heap praise on Brady when he lose and throw for a bunch of yards.
Okay. So remember, this man, think about circumstances. Has Patrick Mahomes been with Andy Reid for a while? Yeah. This is what, fourth year?
The GOAT don't matter.
Oh, okay.
You told me the GOAT don't matter. You say Tom Brady, the GOAT doesn't matter.
43 joins a brand new team with all new teammates and all new coaching staff with no preseason whatsoever. And you're holding him to the highest grading system.